Okay, the reason why I'm doing this video is because there's nothing on the internet anywhere that I can find on how to hook up a Holley garage door opener on a Softail anywhere. And there was some confusion in the instructions on mainly the headlight wire. That's where I was getting stuck. When it tells you to connect these wires to the wiring harness, the extra wiring harness that you had to buy, that was pretty self-explanatory. But when it's telling you to run this excess wire all the way under the gas tank, lift up the gas tank, and tap this into the headlight wire, I just didn't see a need for that. It didn't make any sense. It's a lot of excess work, just retarded. So anyway, I just wanted to try and save some people an ass pain and just make this as simple as possible. So over here is where I put the transmitter. I just zip tied it to the main wiring harness that's down here. It's not going anywhere. I ran this that you get up, and there's a hole right up through here. Okay, and when you get this, you can just cut this off. Run the whole thing first, see what you have to work with, and then you can get rid of that. Once you make these connections, your black and your orange white, just like the instructions tell you, crimp these off. You're going to cut that orange and white. The black will already be cut. It'll be sticking out by itself, and then the rest of that long extension will be with the orange and white, and the white will all be running long. But you can cut that orange and white out, crimp it, then they tell you to just tie this off or cover it with heat shrink or whatever. I'm going to end up just covering it with electrical tape or something. And then you're going to plug this into your accessory that has the rubber boot on it, and it tells you to cut this rubber boot off and plug it into your what's going to be your new accessory port. I just left it like this because it's all going to go together. Now for the headlight wire, this is on a 17 Softail right now, what I'm telling you. So what I did was we ran some testing on the wires, and there's only one blue and white wire. So instead of running that long extension all the way up underneath the gas tank, lifting up the tank and all that other stuff, just ran a tester in this blue and white wire right here. And you can see it right under here too, in this main bunch. All I did was, here's the white wire that's out of your transmitter cord. I just grabbed it, took a tap, and jumped right onto it right here. And that's it. You don't have to run anything else. All of it is right here. And then you can just put your main group back, tuck all this back in, and put your seat in. And I mean, that's it. I wanted to shoot this video before I cinched everything back up and closed everything back. And also, if you have a Chamberlain garage door opener, you're going to find out that it does not talk to each other. So, a couple other things that I found out. When we tried to program between the receiver and transmitter, it tells you to look for an LED blinking on this transmitter. Ours did not blink. There was no LED blinking anywhere. So while we were holding the button on the receiver, it was blinking, and what I decided to do was go ahead and turn the ignition on and then cycle through high beam, low beam, high beam, low beam until the receiver flashing on the wall stopped blinking. And it ended up learning the signal because we had no LED blinking on the transmitter, and it's working. But what ended up happening was it wasn't reading with the Chamberlain because it has that rolling code thing. So I went online and looked around, and lo and behold, a guy named Genocide or something on HD Forum said Chamberlains will not, they just don't talk to each other. So he had this fix where you take the red and the black wires, from what's supposed to go to your garage door motor, and then soldered them to the switch. Don't look at my solder work, it's pretty awful, but soldered them to this switch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find a way to mount that somewhere up in here. But to show you that this works, we'll go back over to the bike, and the switch is on. Now we can just, oh, something's blocking the door. So that backfired a little bit, but you heard the garage door clicking. So after hours of ass pain, we got everything working. Because again, there was nothing on the internet about a Softail and how to hook this thing up, what wires to tap into, what wires to grab. So like I said, hopefully we can help somebody out with this because there was nothing out there. So that's all I got.